Junkies!
Moving right along into Cowboy Bebop, actually. The series, first 10 episodes dropped last week, met with a lot of instant derision from hardcore Cowboy Bebop fans, of which one actually is sitting right next to me, but he wasn't on the side of negativity. He was on the side of positivity. Dido, what did you think about Cowboy Bebop in comparison to the original anime, and how does it faithfully stand up?
Well, first off, I say I like the show.
Live action.
The live action show. I enjoy watching it. It was not a perfect show. To me, it's not a AAA title, but I did enjoy watching it. I liked how they fleshed out some of the backstories for, the characters. Jet. The Mustafa
Shakir.
Shakir, he is Jet. I'm sorry. I mean, he feels like the anime character. He almost, you close your eyes, you think you're listening to Bo Billingsley.
Yeah.
I mean, he
nailed his cadence.
He really nailed the character.
Yeah.
Of course, the music is there. They got some new tunes.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? I like it. Things that I didn't like really is there's quite a few things that they changed from the anime. I didn't think it was a bad idea to change anything.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that some changes could have been done a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mainly it was Vicious. Vicious,
Okay.
I think, was like my biggest thing because I get that he's supposed to be like the antagonist to Spike,
Mm-hmm.
but he just didn't feel intimidating. In the anime, he didn't talk a lot.
No,
he
did not.
He had the intimidation, and
Right.
he just did. He didn't talk a lot. This guy seemed like a whiny daddy's boy. Faye is a little bit more. I wouldn't say she's different. Her changes are neutral to me. It's neither good nor bad. I think that her character is not exactly the same because, I mean, they kept her as if she has, amnesia, doesn't know who she is, doesn't even know if her real name is Faye Valentine, but her motivation is completely different in the live action versus the anime, whereas she is in heavy debt because of the medical bills that nobody knows about till you finish watching it. You don't know what the heck Faye's motivation outside of trying to get her identity. So, it's just some of the stuff that I think they could have changed. They could have definitely padded out. I mean, they could have took elements from here and there and stretched it out. But, and John Cho, I think he did a pretty good job. It's like I said, I give it about a B-, whereas the anime is a AAA, like a S, triple S, whatever you. Yeah, great value, Vicious. He did, like I said, he's basically my only problem. It was Vicious. He didn't, like the actor they got looks like a great value Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
And he didn't really do it for me. And Julia kind of, they gave her more, but they changed her, in my honest opinion, not really for the good. I mean, that's probably the only not good change, mainly because she's not she is a motivation of Spike, but she's not a heavy player like how they tried to make her out to be. But that doesn't make the show bad to me. It just makes it different than the anime.
And I think that was the number one gripe I think a lot of people had, is that the changes that they made, they largely felt that they were unnecessary. Now, some of the takes were ridiculous. They were saying like, oh, you didn't make Faye Cambodian, you didn't make her voluptuous, you didn't make her dress skimpily, you didn't make her be mostly a con man, you just made her super annoying and bratty and a potty mouth. And then you got the whole thing with Julia where, she's much more of a player in this, almost like a mastermind.
Well,
versus
only at the end. It kind of just came out of nowhere, and the only way she acted like that, and of course, again, for those who didn't watch it, spoilers.
All you gotta do is say earmuffs. Earmuffs.
Yeah, earmuffs is that when she found out that Spike was still alive, that's when she kind of changed her thing. I think like the writers just threw that in there instead of because it made it seem like, oh, he's still alive, where I'm gonna, run to him. Whereas, like, you know what, he's still alive and he didn't come for me.
I don't know. Well, yeah, that part kind of screwed me up a little bit. But I did feel like there were little subtle machinations that she had earlier episodes of the show, as it pertains to Vicious and his plan to ascend. Like, she was genuinely trying to help him, seemingly, overthrow the elders.
Well, it's because that's all you had. I mean, her whole thing is like, Vicious is an asshole, but I know this asshole, and
right. The devil I know versus the devil I don't.
Yeah, and it just like it did get thrown through a loop when she found out that Spike was still alive.
Right.
Which, again, I think they should have still stuck towards that. That to me really didn't need to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
It worked for the live action series, but had they just kept it, the same like that, I don't think it would have been too bad. And the same thing with Grin. Grin kind of is just like a throwaway character now, where he was pretty important in the anime. Okay. Like, I mean, in the Jupiter Jazz, if I remember, Jupiter Jazz 1 and 2 is pretty goddamn good storyline there. And they kind of just said, you know what, whatever, dude. You wear a dress and you say quippy things. Well, like that's not Grin. So,
GQ, did you check out Cowboy Bebop? What'd you think?
I did not watch it.
Okay,
but out of the chat, yeah, out of the chat though, other Steve said he got to episode 8 so far. It's okay. He's digging it. Driz said John Noble is in it. Okay. Also, Team said playing devil's advocate is not like we knew what Julia was up to before she showed up in the anime.
Yeah, that's 100%. True. She didn't have anything. Vicious and Julia did not really have any kind of backstory. You knew Vicious was in the syndicate, was part of Spike's crew. Actually, they were like partners or whatever, and that's all you knew. And that Spike left, and basically Spike left because Vicious and Julia did get together, and behind. They kept that part the same. Spike fell in love with Julia, even though that
was
Julia
his boy's girl.
It was Vicious's girl, and they kept that stuff the same. So like I said, they told a story that was entertainable. It was fun to watch. I enjoy watching it. Does it stack up to the anime? No, and I don't need it to be.
Okay, here's a question on that though. Because remember, always way back when the rumors were that they wanted Keanu Reeves to be Spike in a movie. Would that have worked compared to how the series is going so far?
It'd been kind of difficult for them to do a movie, I think, mainly because a movie would have to be a self-contained story, and you got no backstory on the characters. You would have got no character development in the same aspect, because it's just so much that can be going on. It works better as a TV show, and then you can do a movie after you establish all that stuff,
right?
Kind of like they did in the anime, because animation works a whole lot different. Sometimes you don't need that much backstory, and the Japanese know how to. They do it very differently by giving backstories. When you see somebody doing something, and the person in the background is just telling you about the character, you don't even see it because they do that all the time,
right?
So, maybe it could have worked that way, but in live action, I personally could not see. Who knows what I can see? I don't know.
Well,
what am I saying?
I feel like I don't think you couldn't do like he said, you can't really do Cowboy Bebop as a movie, live action. And I feel like the whole Keanu Reeves thing was more of a fan casting than it was actual.
No, he expressed some interest.
Well, I think, and that's probably because he's a fan. He was a fan of the anime, and I feel like he kind of wanted to do it, but I don't think there was any real juice behind making a Cowboy Bebop movie even back then. But I feel like with this one. John Cho, I thought, did a really great job. Mustafa Shakir, I agree with you, did a really great job. Faye Valentine, Danielle Pineda. I can see some people's gripes with Faye, but overall, do they matter a lot? No. Like, keeping her Cambodian, there's no reason that they couldn't have gotten someone Asian to be Faye. There is no reason that they couldn't have.
Is she supposed to be Cambodian? Never got
that was the whole. That was part of her backstory. Is that she was.
They didn't know what she was.
They didn't know what she was, but it was heavily implied that she was Cambodian descent.
Because like in the first
Asian.
her first
kind of white.
her first show up,
Right.
she said she was a Romanese. She was a
right.
gypsy.
She was Romani, right?
Yeah, Romani.
She was Romani,
like,
but that was obviously a lie. And even in the official wiki, they said that she's rumored to have been of Cambodian descent. So there was no reason that she couldn't have been played by an Asian woman. The whole hoopla about her outfit, I think they could have changed a few colors because, like, mostly if you saw her outfit, she was wearing stockings, she was wearing hot pants, she wore a jacket, and of course the leather like vesty thing. They could have made the hot pants yellow and been a lot more accurate to the original Faye than it was now, and left the jacket and it would have been fine.
I guess that just doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me either. Like, that doesn't bother me either. But it's like for those that worry so much about that authenticity. Now, as far as like the overwhelming negativity behind people enjoying Cowboy Bebop, fandom has this problem, and I think going over some of the threads that I've seen in these anime groups, they feel like this. You remember how it was back in the day, like how nerds used to act back in the day, where something's only cool as long as the masses don't like it?
Yeah.
This is kind of like, gatekeeping, that whole deal. This is kind of like the same thing. It's like, oh, it's not cool because I found it first and I don't want these masses to, these unwashed masses to infiltrate and like my show.
And
like, that is so bizarre. That whole mindset.
I mean, I can't say that I saw it first, but I guarantee you most of those people yapping like that, I saw Cowboy Bebop
way before they did. Yeah.
I saw it fan subbed in 1998.
Right.
So, like...
before it came over on Toonami. Yeah.
Before the Toonami generation saw anything.
Shoot, we were watching it at the Anime Club, weren't we? Like, a long time ago?
I'm not 100% sure.
I could have sworn we were.
I know we probably did. I know I saw it at a different anime club is where I saw it. I saw it at the University of Michigan's anime club. And the whole story about it, if anybody cares, is that I was just in the video game room where they're playing video games. Somebody comes and, hey, everybody, they're about to put Cowboy Bebop on. And I was just thinking to myself, Cowboy Bebop, that just sounds stupid. Like,
You're right.
What the hell? But I was like,
and
okay,
then that theme song hit, and you were like, wait a minute.
It was just like, wow.
Like Bernie Mac. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Yep, and I bought Cowboy Bebop every VHS, and I bought every DVD that came out, and I have the Blu-rays at home. I don't have the VHS and the DVD anymore. I had the soundtracks,
remix soundtracks.
Watching anime on bootleg VHS.
Yeah, that was us.
That's where we started.
Was us.
That's where I started.
That was totally us.
That's actually now where I started watching stuff on TV.
Shoot. Remember, what was it? The international channel.
The international
watching
channel,
Dragon Ball,
Sci-Fi Channel,
Raw, unsubbed
every Sunday, and it would be every Sunday. But before then, because the stuff used to come on TV. So, like, I don't get the whole. I mean, older Darian. Excuse me, not older. I am old Darian. Young. You probably would understand, that the stupid, gatekeeping bull crap.
Yeah, but it's so counterproductive, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's just like, try to enjoy it with everybody else. And if you don't like it, it's understandable that you don't, because now everybody's going to like stuff.
No one says that you have to like this, right? But come up with some better reasons than, it's not 100% faithful to anime. Look, certain things you can do in animation, you can't get away with in live action. Like a lot of the facial expressions, a lot of the slapstick zany stuff. Like, okay, the last couple minutes of this first season when Ed showed up.
Yeah, people were like,
that was weird.
Ed doing? It just seemed weird. And I was like, Ed is very out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's that, we have to see more. We only saw like 2 lines.
You're right, but it's like, even then you're just like, okay, I'm not sure this character is going to translate well to live action
and
like she did. Right, and that's my whole thing. Like, certain things you can get away with in live action because animation allows you to be zany and expressive, and you can forgive that. But when you see a live action person doing those same things, you're just like,
because Ed didn't have a tan.
That ain't it, Chief. You know what I mean?
She wasn't barefoot.
Right.
And why was Ayn with her? I mean, we know Ayn got left behind, but we don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's a different show. It's just a different take on it. It's like somebody made a hamburger,
right?
And that hamburger was delicious, and somebody says, you know what, I'm gonna try to make the hamburger, and that hamburger may be delicious, but it's not gonna taste like the original person, and it's
right.
Okay, whatever.
Right. So
it's time for them to revisit Fist of the North Star live action. Then.
Oh my God,
Brian Freeman.
Now, Crying Freeman actually was pretty decent. Yeah. That was pretty decent. And now, I'm not with those people that say that all live action anime remakes or animation live action anime productions are terrible. I thought Bleach was pretty decent. I thought Crying Freeman was really good, and that was like one of the first early adaptations that we ever had. Oh, thank you for the resub, Marcus A64.
11 months, going strong.
Going strong. He's almost at a year, man. We should almost give him something special for that. But Dragon Ball Evolution, don't you ever bring that up again.
I just like when Goku was sliding on his head back and forth over the car. Wow. I'm just joking when I say that.
Yeah, no, but Rurouni Kenshin, like, there's plenty of really good live action anime, productions. And no matter how you feel about these, they are not going to stop. Like, Yu Yu Hakusho is coming.
Dude, there's tons in Japan that we don't haven't even seen.
XXX Holic is getting ready to get one. And they're announcing new ones all the time.
What was God darn it! It was the gangster that's a stay-at-home.
The way of the house husband.
Yeah, Way of the House Husband.
Yeah.
I saw that live action. That actually, you could pull that off live action because it's just basically.
You could do that one.
Yeah,
you could do it as a Japanese sitcom, but still, like, it's like we've had Pat LaBorde the movie live action. We've had G Savior, which was terrible. But we're getting live action Gundam. We're getting live action. Hopefully, get live action Macross at some point. But there's potential out there for live action anime remakes that can be done well. Ghost in the Shell, I don't care how you feel about it. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I like Ghost in the Shell.
I liked it a lot, but honestly, these live action anime aren't going. Oh, dude, Kite was bad. Kite was really bad. Samuel, what was Sam L thinking being even involved in that?
Because he liked the anime and he thought that somehow they were going to be able to
I'm curious.
that.
I wonder if he watched the uncut one.
Yeah, he said he watched hentai too.
Oh wow.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that clip. Make sure you check out our live content on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/culturejunkies. We also have a lot of content available on YouTube, unboxings as well as Blu-ray reviews. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/culturejunkies. And on top of all of that, if you go to culturejunkies.net, you can check out our merch store. The link is culturejunkies.net/merch. There's a lot of great merchandise there. So there's links and logos and stuff all around me. So check those out, and we will see you next time.